right. What is going on, Florida State family? Seminole Nation, 3863 Tribe. I hope everybody's doing good on this Friday night. Noles after dark. Yeah, man. We last week we talked about some stuff. This week, let's talk about some stuff. Some big news. First of all, big news. College football 26 has been revealed. Look like they got some major improvements coming to the game. We'll see, man. We'll see how long it is before that game turns into Madden. The hope is that it never does, but we'll see. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited for college football 26. I think I'm gonna do a league, I think I'm gonna do a league this year, but this time I'm not gonna manage it. Jerd, Karen, if you're listening, I'm probably gonna let them manage it. But I'm thinking about doing another league. I'm just not gonna be in charge of it. I don't know if I'm back. Unbelievable. Unfucking-lievable. If y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up or something. Internet is going completely off the. Oh, okay. Say I'm back. I'm good. Okay, cool. You good? Man, that's crazy. Internet just decided to die. Okay, I think I'm good. All right. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks. All right. Cool. Like I was saying, I think before the internet completely decided to say, to hell with you and your live stream tonight. FSU's getting that surprise visit. They get some visits this weekend, and we can go over those. But FSU's getting that. They're getting the big one. We had talked about him early on, but FSU's getting a visit from 5-star athlete, quarterback, wide receiver. You know, all those good things. He's currently committed to Houston. Give me 1 second so I can find the tweet. Keyshawn, I'm assuming that's how you say that. Keyshawn Henderson, or a.k.a. Jimmy Crockett with the coon. What do you even call that? What do you call that headpiece? I don't know what you call it, but Keyshawn Henderson committed to Houston currently. Most people, including myself, despite what he's saying, I know he has a great relationship. I know he has a great relationship with the Houston coach, all that. No way this kid, this young man, in my opinion, ends up at Houston, though he's currently committed there. You're talking about the number 18 player in the country, according to the composite, number 4 quarterback in the country, according to the composite, and the number 2 player in the state of Texas. 6'3", 185, a dynamic, explosive athlete. So you're getting a visit from him. Now, what does that necessarily mean? Whatever. It all starts with getting a guy on campus. You get a guy on campus, and then we can have a conversation about whatever. I just want to get him on campus first and foremost. Get him on campus first and foremost, and then we can talk about whatever else needs to be talked about. FSU is also targeting Landon Duckworth. FSU is also targeting who's the kid? Jaden O'Neal, who's currently committed to Oklahoma, but almost everybody in the industry is saying that is going to be he's going to decommit there soon, because I think Oklahoma has another quarterback committed, if I'm not mistaken. They either have another quarterback committed at Oklahoma, or they're targeting another one. But a lot of people are thinking Jaden O'Neal's up out of there. And so the top 3 on Florida State's board as of right now, Keyshawn Henderson, Landon Duckworth, and Jaden O'Neal. I like all 3. We'll start off with Keyshawn, because, again, that's the big one. That's the guy that you're getting a visit. Now, I think Landon also has a visit scheduled. But June 9th, Duckworth, I mean, hey, Gus Malzahn is the primary recruiter here. You know what? I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna skip the whole. I'm gonna skip it and go straight to what I think you got to do to get this quarterback. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a lot of it's gonna. If you're one of the Florida State fans that thinks Thomas Castellanos is gonna be a good quarterback, then you better pray to God that happens. Not only to have Florida State win football games, but to land this kid. I think for all 3 of these quarterbacks, it's really going to be, how does TC look in garnet and gold. If he plays well, I think you got a good shot at either or any three of these quarterbacks. Not saying you're getting any three of them, but you got to like your chances. If the offense doesn't look good and you know, things of that nature, I don't really know what, especially for, you know, a guy like Keyshawn Henderson. I mean, that's your, in my opinion, that's your program changer. That's not saying he's going to be a Jameis, but that's the guy that elevates you. That changes the trajectory possibly of your program if you get a Keyshawn Henderson. Right? That's a Lamar Jackson, even though I know Lamar Jackson wasn't highly touted, but that's that kind of guy, I think. And he changes the narrative for Mike Norvell if you're able to land that kind of that caliber of a football player. So he is by far the most important player, I believe, on Florida State's board. Not only because he's a quarterback, because of the type of quarterback you're talking about. When's the last time FSU had a quarterback of that caliber? Luke Cormanhoke was rated up there. He wasn't the dynamic athlete like this, though. So, and Cormanhoke, lasted all but a year. Then he got up out of here. So being able to, you know, getting him on campus is huge. I'm not one of the people to tell you that, you know, but getting him on campus is a big deal. Even in the day of NIL, I know everybody blames everything on money and transactions and, you know, stuff that's been going on in college football for decades. Nothing's changed. It just became prevalent in the open eye. So I don't think anything's really changed there. But with that said, that's the big news for this weekend. But I also want to look at some of Florida State's other prospects here, because, again, Landon Duckworth is, I think, 6'3", 195. He's just, I don't want to know. It's hard for me to say between him and the Oklahoma kid who is more of a priority. Not sure. I know there's a lot of traction with the kid at Oklahoma, but Duckworth's got tow cars on him, and of course Gus Malzahn. Duckworth, according to the composite, a top 50 player nationally, the number 6 quarterback in the class, and number 5 player in the state of Alabama. So this is a kid that's closer to Florida, closer to Tallahassee. Pretty much same measurables as Henderson. Now, if you watch them play, they're definitely different players. Henderson is more of a dynamic athlete. I think when I watch Duckworth, I'm looking at a guy that I think is really going to develop into a pocket passer. Like, when I watch Duckworth, I feel like this kid has a frame on him that could put on some weight. And I don't know I don't know how much. I have a feeling he's more of a pocket passer than a dual threat guy. Though I'm not saying he can't move, and in high school he can move. I'm just talking about potentially where he goes. But there's a lot of, he's not committed anywhere. Talk about Duckworth, but you got Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Auburn. I think he's crystal balled right now to Ole Miss. But we know South Carolina, man, and who they have at quarterback right now. That's what I was saying. Same thing I'll say about Duckworth that I said about Henderson and about Thomas Castellanos. Yes, sir.
The thing on the back of my leg, it turned all black.
Go show your mom. I lost track. Same thing I was saying about Henderson, and the same thing I'll say about Duckworth. It's like when you look at South Carolina, right? and you look at who their quarterback is, and you look at some of these other schools, you go, okay, their quarterback is going to play to a certain degree or a certain level that people are, or these young quarterbacks are going to say, I can go to that system and do the same things. Thomas Castellanos really has to, like, again, for Florida State to have any chance, in my opinion, recruiting and on the field, it's all going to be driven by that little, no pun intended, but that little quarterback. And hey, if you believe in it, shout out to you. I really hope I'm wrong when it comes to him. I really am. And then of course, third on that list is Jaden O'Neal. He's bigger. Now, this is 6'3", 215 pounds. And he's not as highly rated as the first two guys we were talking about. This one, he's a national 204, so he's overall still a top 200 player for the most part. But he's the 14th ranked quarterback. He is the number one player in the state of Oklahoma. Tokars is the primary recruiter here. Again, I think any three of these guys would be a good fit for you. We'll see. He has his visit scheduled on the 15th, by the way. Duckworth has his visit scheduled on the 13th, and Henderson has his visit scheduled on the 9th. So they're going to have three quarterbacks, on campus. So I haven't even touched the comments yet. Let's get to the comments. Y'all, I don't know if y'all say anything in the comments, but what's up, Tony? What's up, Jeff? What's up, Antoine? Jerry was good. Jerd, Sports Smart, Grillmaster, Michael, Raj, New King, Ben. Anton says, you got to sell him being the savior of the program. Obviously, he's interested to set this. I agree. And yes, you have to set him, like, you got to tell. Look, if you're recruiting Henderson, you're telling him he's starting next year. I don't care if Thomas Castellanos comes back next year or not. If you're recruiting Henderson and you're looking at that QB, you're looking at that depth chart, you are selling him on the fact he is playing game one of next year. Like, that is what you're selling him on. There's no red shirt. There's no waiting your turn after TC. No, you're good enough to play over TC right now. That's what I'm selling him on. Anyway. I pray we get them all and keep them all. Don't we all? Don't we all pray we get them all and keep them all? Antoine says, I like Duffworth, but Henderson is the guy. O'Neal is the fallback if the others don't work. I agree with that take. Henderson should be your priority. You got to keep Duckworth super warm, though, right? Henderson's got to be the guy that, again, like you said earlier, Antoine. That's the guy you're selling the program. This is the guy that you're telling, though, the future is yours. Henderson, you got to go all in. And it's hard to say go all in on one guy and not go, if you go all in, then how can you still keep Duckworth warm? Well, that's where good recruiters figure it out. I don't have the answer for you. I ain't a recruiter. I ain't a college coach. But good recruiters figure out a way to make Henderson feel like he's the priority while also having Duckworth feel like he's not the side chick. You feel what I'm saying? And O'Neal is or would be the fallback if you were lost out on both. Yeah, that OCU kid is talking about OCU. I think you mean the Oklahoma kid, you mean? What's up, Mighty? No. Ronald was good. Panama says it's time for Mike Norvell to close in on a 5-star QB. I like Mike, 5th year, and he haven't. Oh, it's like Mike's 5th year and haven't landed a QB since FSU hired him. Well, that's not true. He's landed quarterbacks. The problem is his evaluations. Either his evaluations completely suck or his development sucks. But Mike Norvell has landed blue chip quarterbacks. The problem is none of them have turned out. But you landed Chronohawk, Brock Glenn, A.J. Duffy, Chubba Purdy. He's recruited quarterbacks. Developed them? No, that's a whole different dynamic. You think we get Henderson? Well, William, I love you because I know you are going to come in here. You are always going to be the beacon of light and hope. I would, and I'm not here to rain on your parade. My only question would be, based on what do you think we flip Henderson? Just based on what? I would love to. I'm not saying I don't want him. I'm just, to be that confident so early. Based on what? Do we get Henderson based on, you have 5 years of Mike Norvell's track record. Based on what do we land this caliber of player? Jerry says he will. TC can win against the mid-level schools, which is good because we only got 4 top-tier games. So our roof is 9-3, or okay is 8-4. Our floor is 6-5. Has Gus landed a 5-star quarterback in a while? That's actually a pretty good question. I have to go back and look at some of those recruiting. See what's Bo Nix might have been the last. I think Bo Nix was a 5-star. I can look at. Matter of fact, yeah, let's look at it. I think Bo Nix was a 5-star. Bo Nix might be the last. Bo Nix might be the last 5-star Gus landed. See what we got. Bo Nix 247. Bo Nix coming out, as he was a composite 5-star, 33 nationally, number 1 dual threat, the 3rd player in the state of Alabama. Bo Nix. That's probably the last 5-star Gus has recruited, if I'm not mistaken. This to me is the biggest recruitment of Norvell's career. Henderson is a legit freak athlete. Getting him could change. Thank you. I mean, that's what I said, right? This is the guy that changes your program. I don't want to put so much stock in it, Antoine, from the standpoint of I don't know how legit our chances are. Like, it's easy to say that this is the biggest recruitment of his career, but up until this time, Travis Hunter. But Mike Norvell's he's had these recruitments before, and that's where I go back to William. And when William says he's so confident that he gets this guy, I go, well, based on KJ Bolden, based on Keldrick Falk, based on Solomon Thomas, based on Travis Damn Hunter, history tends to repeat itself. I know we don't like to hear that. So, based on history, I don't want to put so much stuff. I agree with everything you're saying. I don't know if I want to go there and go, this is the biggest recruitment of his, bro. If you don't know, I don't care about Mike Norvell's career at this point. I don't want him here anymore, but he's here. So if you can land this young man, then it definitely changes things better for Mike Norvell, I think. I won't go as far as to say like all will be forgiven if he lands him, because you still got to go win games. But one would assume if you land Henderson, then you had a somewhat of a solid season on the field. I'm assuming those two things go hand in hand. I don't know much about this new QB prospect. You don't know much about him? Go look him up. We covered Henderson early on in late winter. I want to say back in February, man. We talked about Henderson. We talked about him. Hasn't landed the black quarterback what we need. Well, that's all he's recruiting this offseason is black quarter. Duckworth, O'Neal, and Henderson, all black. So we'll see what we end up with. Ronald says none of them do anything when they let's talk about the quarterback that he's recruited. Yeah, so it's either the recruitment it's either the eval or the development. What's up, Tyler? Y'all had a second chance at Hunter. No, we didn't. What are you talking about? Maurice, don't come in here and tell lies. If what you're insinuating is when he transferred from JSU, again, do not come in here spreading lies. No one had a second chance at Hunter. When Prime left for Colorado, everybody knows exactly. Like, stop it. If we're not entertaining that. I still want Baylor coach. If you're talking about Aranda, I mean, I think I said I wanted him like 4 years ago. I mean, we're kind of past that. Travis Hunter doesn't play quarterback. True enough. He won the Heisman and was amazing, but his team didn't go anywhere. Cam Warren alone changed Miami's team last year, but they still didn't win anything. But I get what you're saying. 100%. Quarterback is the most important position on the football field. So I don't disagree with you. So I 100% understand what you're saying. The reason why remember how long Hunter was committed. Like, the reason I don't put Henderson in that category yet in terms of the most important recruits this man's ever had is simple. KJ Bolden was committed. Travis Hunter was committed. Keldrick Falk was committed. Solomon Thomas was committed. This young man's not even committed yet. So for me to go, this is the most important guy of Mike Norvell's career, again, how those other guys were committed and left. Well, Henderson is not even committed, so I don't want to go and I get it in terms of importance of the position. 100% agree with what you're saying. But to put that on Mike Norvell's shoulders, and believe me, I'm not in any position to try to defend the man. I don't know how many times I got to say I don't want him here anymore. But in fairness to him, just because I don't want him here doesn't mean I'll be unfair. To pin that, Henderson's the most important recruit of your career is like, well, damn. He's had a bunch of important recruits up until this point. Do you really W at Norvell? Do you really want Norvell to win 8 games? I think is what you're asking. I think that's what you're asking. I honestly don't know if he does come. I don't really know what this question. Do you really W at Norvell? Do you really want at Norvell to win 8 games? If he does, he comes. I don't know. I don't really know what you're trying to say there, New King. Jerry says, me either. I want to have another losing season so we can fire him. I agree with that. What's up, Almighty? I mean, they are better than the Bulls right now. If your team's not playing basketball right now, don't talk to me about my Knicks. We still breathing. We still fighting. Don't talk to me about my Knicks if your favorite team ain't playing basketball. So basically right now, if you ain't a Pacer fan or an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, don't talk to me about basketball right now. What's up, Jeff? I hear you, Jeff. I'll be honest. I don't care about recruiting until they sign for fact. And until they sign for fact, I think is what you're saying. They're coming to the school. I get it. Recruiting used to be fun to follow. Now, not so much. He does. The problem is once they get on campus, they suck. See, the problem is once they get to campus, it seems like they absolutely suck. Who's the next head coach you want? I've answered this before. I don't care. I mean, obviously I care, but I'm not here to sit here and try to go down a list of coaches at this point. Mike is 1 foot out the door. He needs something or is back to pay 5. I hear, Antoine, you're saying a lot of stuff that I agree with. You're saying a lot of stuff I agree with. Like, I can't dispute what you're saying. Mike is definitely 1 foot out the door. And if and when he fails here, yeah, I think he's back down to the Power 5 for sure. And I think one of the major things, I think Florida State was where he showed it. One of the major things that will keep him at Power 5 and will keep major programs probably from hiring him is the way he recruits. It's the way he has recruited. This pot roast. Let's look at some of the commits that are, or not commits, but some of the guys that may be coming this weekend if we think that Terrence Knighton may or may not land a guy. I was trying to say, do you really want Mike to win 8 games this year, or would you rather he lose and get fired just to get over with, especially knowing how bad he recruits? I want Mike Norvell. So I'll answer that this way because I said this on the last stream. Either compete for the playoff, ACC title / playoff, or lose every game. Because anything in the middle, 6, 7, 8 wins, in my opinion, again, you're just going to become the next Miami. Irrelevant for 20. We're already on our way. I've told Florida State fans that already. We're already on our way to being the Nebraska and Miami. Irrelevant. So either win big, like either compete for something, or you can get the hell on. I hear you. Lane Kiffin, Deion, or Chip Kelly for me. Where's Chip? Chip is in Ohio State, right? I think when it comes to college, yes, I think Chip is a good coach. I don't think Chip is necessarily a fit in Tallahassee. Lane Kiffin is a weird one. I don't know if Lane Kiffin ever leaves Ole Miss at this point. I feel like no one hires him, but he's always rumored for a job at Lane Kiffin will never get over any hump at Ole Miss has reached its pinnacle. I don't think Florida State would hire him. I would take him over. My State would hire him. And I would love for Deion. I won't say the electricity that would be for Deion would be amazing. I'm very interested to watch Deion post Travis Hunter and post his son, and to see how that team looks before I go that far with Deion. But I do know the electricity with Deion being back in garnet and gold would be something. I don't really ever see that happening, to be quite honest with you. I don't ever see that happening. Oh, Chip's with the Raiders. And Miami's irrelevant because y'all are irrelevant. You don't have to get offended, New King. It's okay. When I say irrelevant, it's simple. Yes, you're recruiting, but you've won no bowl games or one bowl game in 20 years. You've won no conference titles in 20 years. So you're irrelevant is the point. Herb been doing work getting people in. I think we saw, Herb Hand seemed to me almost to be the best hire at this point. Herb Hand seems to be the best hire at this point. If Gus lands one of the top 2 quarterbacks, he'll have an argument. If Gus can get, again, not a knock on O'Neal, I'll take O'Neal, but O'Neal isn't a program changer. In my opinion, O'Neal's not a guy that comes in and changes the program. I'm not so sure Duckworth is that, though I like Duckworth. I think Henderson is a day one impact guy. I think you tell Henderson that he's playing day one. If Gus can pull that one off, Gus may have just saved Mike Norvell's ass, to be frank. Yeah, we have to be in the playoffs every year. It's 12 teams now. I would argue, yes. I would argue if you're worth your weight, then you should, if not be in the playoffs, be competing for that spot. I don't have a problem with Rhett. Rhett would be an interesting hire. I would love what he's done at SMU has been awesome. Hell, Rhett Lashley has made a playoffs before Mike Norvell. And that's not all of Mike Norvell's fault because he should have made the 14, but that's neither here nor there. But Rhett Lashley at SMU, I'm interested to see what he does this year. Rhett's a name. Rhett Lashley is a name to watch. Not necessarily for a state job, but it could be. I would not be against a Rhett Lashley type of coach. Dion would be fun for a while, I think, but it would be tough getting rid of him if things go south. I don't necessarily agree with that because Dion has already drew a line in the sand. The way he talks about Florida State as the Colorado coach, I don't think it would be hard to get rid of him at all. Frank Brown, Sankey trying his get Ole Miss in the playoffs. Folks still watching regardless, and we still big time recruits. I mean, of course, folks are still watching. I think you underestimate, or not underestimate, misunderstand when I say irrelevant. Miami's not irrelevant to the state of Florida. Miami's not irrelevant to Miami's irrelevant in terms of winning. And again, that's not me even trying to be a hater. I'm simply saying FSU's on its way to being there. Like is Nebraska irrelevant in college football? No, but in terms of winning, Nebraska's irrelevant. And there's other programs that follow that suit. I get it, New King. You're a Miami fan, but nothing I said has been a lie. One bowl game win in 20 years, no conference championships in the same time span. Winning has been irrelevant for Miami. FSU was on his way to that. Granted, we did win our conference in, 2 years ago. But the point still stands. What's up, Harold, with the $2? He says, I want Kenny. I got to see Kenny do it again at Arizona State. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't. Shout out to Kenny and what he did at Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham was here in Tallahassee. It's different. That's all I'll say. It's different. Shout out to Kenny. I think he should stay where he's at. I'm good. And that's not a knock on Kenny Dillingham. It's just a lot of these coaching hires are about fit. And I'm good. I'm good on Kenny Dillingham. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the super chat, Super Harold. Yeah, more money, yeah. Gus has a lot to do with landing Henderson. Word is he's a huge Cam Newton fan. Again, if Gus can get him, but I already told you my reservations on that personally. I think a lot of it's Gus is gonna have to work miracles with the 5'7", injury-prone, inconsistent passer that we have at the quarterback position right now. Gus is gonna have to work a lot of miracles with that. If he gets that guy to play well, maybe you do. Rhett has more similarities to Norvell than you think. Well, it'd be interesting to see. I think Rhett recruits better than Norvell, and again, my whole problem with Mike is the way he recruits, the way he builds. I think Mike as a game day coach, I think Mike Norvell is pretty good. I think Mike Norvell has shown when he has the requisite talent, he's a good play caller, man. He's a good game day coach. It's more so building a program to me, where I think Rhett, is better at talent evals, and things of that nature. So Oregon State lost the first game of their regional. Maybe we get to host a super. Maybe. Shout out to the baseball team. Well, FSU has historically, and our history of coaching changes isn't very deep. I mean, you had Bobby here for 80,000 years. Bobby, Jimbo, Willie, Norvell. The history has been offense. I've been on the record of saying defense for the next coach. Don't know if that's going to be the case. So if history repeats itself, it'll probably be another offensive-minded coach. I'm not going to entertain New King. We're just having a conversation, and of course, Miami fans getting their feelings. Yes, we won 2 games, and the crazy part about us winning 2 games, still a more recent conference champion than Miami. That's the crazy thing about that. That is crazy. I agree with the take on Norvell and Lashley. They're very similar. Good coaches and motivates, but recruiting would still be a question. Well, I think Rhett's a better talent evaluator. It's just me, though. Rhett definitely the better developer at the QB spot. I'll give him that. Norvell, an X's and O's type coach. He's not a program builder. Yeah, well, I don't have a way to really disagree with that. Really don't have a way to disagree with that. So that's what it's going to kind of boil down to. It's going to be who can they get, can they get a quarterback? Like, it's one of the things, like, if we just talk about it, like, it's one of the things that I think is really saving, like, Billy Napier right now is, one, he recruits fairly well himself, and then he's got Lagway. Like, he's got that, and we'll have to see what Lagway, turns into. Lagway's not the perfect quarterback, but he was a true freshman last year, and I know he had some moments last year that weren't like amazing through some interceptions, but as a true freshman, like those things are expected. But he also has like glaring talent. Like he has talent that you go, okay, there's tools there. Can Mike Norvell, and it's crazy again, you're in year 5. You feel like he should have found his Lagway by now. One would argue Chroma Hope should have been his Lagway, but it didn't turn out to be that way. In year 6, can this man find his Lagway to save him? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let's look at who we have. Let's see who we have visiting this week. By the way, do y'all realize that USC has the number 1 class in the country right now? Granted, they already have 27 commits as of right now. Clemson has the number 5 class. Miami's at 8. A whole lot of recruiting left to go here. FSU currently sits at 23. Georgia's at 11. SMU's at 13 right now. Believe it or not. Speaking of Rhett Lashley, SMU's at 13. And you only have, and SMU only has, it's not like they have a bunch of commits. They only have 13 commits, and they're sitting in the top 15 right now. So SMU doing the damn thing. Texas is all the way down to 26. But you kind of, you expect teams like Texas and Oregon's at 27 to finish strong. Michigan's at 37. Anyway, Just wanted to point that out. Trying to see who FSU has visiting. Bum, 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 bum. So FSU's got a big list for June 20th. But let's start June 6th. So that's this week. That's not this week. June 6th. June 6th. No. What's that? The 30th? So on the 30th, we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players visiting on the 30th, which is today, right? Yes, it's today. 4 of those 5, that's all guys in the trenches, by the way. So Samuel Roseborough out of Clearwater. Let's click on him. He's the composite 133rd player nationally, the 7th interior offensive lineman. And FSU looks like they are recruiting against Ohio State and Texas right now for the 6'5", 285-pound Samuel Roseborough. On campus this weekend. Johnny Jones, another offensive lineman. He goes offensive tackle, according to the composite. He's nationally 141, the 17th player in the state of Florida, and the number 11th offensive tackle. 6'6", 305, Johnny Jones. And this is a Penn State, UCLA, or Florida State battle, but you also got Ole Miss and Vanderbilt in the mix. You got some other teams. Colorado's still in the mix here. So who knows where he's leaning, but FSU's got him on campus. Let's see if Herb Hand can get a commit this weekend. So somebody asked, can Terrence Knighton get a commit? Well, I guess if it's going to be one, it's going to be Kendall Gervil out of Fort Myers, 6'4", 6'5", 315, nationally ranked 146. So he's a top 150 guy. And it's a Georgia, Florida, Texas, Florida State battle. And unfortunately, Florida State got the first visit. He goes to Georgia next, followed by Florida, and he ends with Texas. So if he takes all 3 of those visits, including this one, if he takes all 4 of his visits that he has scheduled, I don't expect Knighton to get a commit this weekend. That's just me, though. 3 more guys. Jacoby Green, another interior offensive lineman, 6'3", 335 out of Niceville. Now, he's not necessarily highly ranked. He's 565. He's actually also committed to Mississippi State. And he doesn't have the best offer sheet. It's not terrible, but he's committed to Mississippi State. But he's visiting this weekend, so we'll see how that plays out. Then another Mississippi State player, Camden Capehart, wide receiver, 5'9", 165, committed. He's out of Texas. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why FSU's even recruiting the young man, but maybe nationally ranked 648. He's the number 98th receiver in the country. Like, I don't know. Bodies, I guess. And then Travius Stevenson, he's committed to Georgia Tech. This is a DB, 6'1", 181. So he fits the Surtain mold. Ranked nationally 771. So you really want to pay attention to them top guys. Those top three. Those bottom three, okay. But them top three are the guys you probably want to pay attention to. What are our thoughts on a lot of these guys we got coming up here on campus? Randy, Xavier Griffin is the deal at linebacker. We get an OV, but Bama's the favorite right now, I guess. Yeah, look, can't blame Randy Shannon, right? So we'll see what happens with that. When you get a quarterback is the once in a lifetime talent like a James Winston, you can win a lot of games. See what happened after Winston. Better drop that bag. Polk, you see a lot of the BS article that FSU is tanking on purpose to get cheaper exit from the ACC. No, I didn't see that. And I'm not really sure how that makes sense. Someone have to explain to me how that makes sense. Okay. I'm just reading the comments. I want to see if any of them made sense. But yeah, so those are our visitors. And then huge list for June 6th, man. June 6th is when they got all their guys coming in for that June 6th. Like June 6th is the big one. They only have 3 guys scheduled for like June 9th is when Keyshawn Henderson arrives. And then the other big one is that Friday, June 13th. That's Duckworth. Just some of the names that's coming in on June 6th as of right now. Samari Matthews, corner out of North Carolina. Tristan Givens, that's a 5-star edge rusher. Well, he's a composite 4-star, but you're talking about a nationally ranked 62 player. A lot of good players in that June 6th window. Can FSU get any of them? Hey, man. We'll wait and see. Under Mike Norvell, the history has been that they finished their recruiting class by July. By July, beginning of August, FSU usually has the guys that they want, and they have them wrapped up. And then they kind of focus their time during, like if you just look at the last few classes, they have most of their guys in there during the summer. Whether it's Charles Less or whatever, they get their guys to commit during the summer. Then they spend the all season trying to keep whoever they got to keep committed, and they might go after like a big guy down the stretch. So we'll see how. I mean, that June 6th, that June 13th, 15th, the month of June's huge. The 20th. That 20th is when you got linebacker Isaiah Williams. I'm not even sure why they're still recruiting that kid. That kid's committed to like every school in the South right now. He's committed to Florida at one point. I think he's currently committed to Ole Miss. He's committed. I don't know a school that he hasn't committed to. He was committed to us at one point, but I guess they're still recruiting him. He's on the visit list. He's on the visit list. we ain't trying to tank. Tanking in college football is crazy. It doesn't make sense. I don't know where that article or who wrote that article, but it doesn't make sense. Can we find an Eddie Goldman at least? Can we? You're saying Eddie Goldman at least, like Eddie Goldman wasn't the top defensive tackle in his class? Like, can we find a Derek Nandi at, like, when you say Eddie Goldman, you do realize Eddie Goldman was, I'm about to look him up right now, but Eddie Goldman was the top defensive tackle in his class. If we could get an Eddie Goldman, then we back to where we need to be. But that ain't gonna happen. Okay, I was wrong. He wasn't the top D tackle. He was the third D, but he was the 10th player in the class. He was a top 10 player in his class and the third defensive tackle in his class. And the only two defensive tackles that were rated higher than him were Mario Edwards, who also came to Florida State. Think about it. This is what we used to do, guys. FSU had Mario Edwards and Eddie Goldman in the same recruiting class. Talk about Eddie Goldman at least. Eddie Goldman was an elite prospect, man. Malcolm Brown and Mario Edwards were only two defensive tackles rated higher than Eddie Goldman. And one of those three ended up playing defensive end in Mario Edwards. So he only had one guy rated higher than him. Absolutely nasty work. Right. Eddie Goldmans don't grow on trees, man. Eddie Goldmans don't just come around. Yeah, Timmy turned out to be the better player for sure. I think Jernigan was 100%. I mean, since we doing it, let's see where Timmy Jernigan was coming out of high school. Where did he rank? I know he was a 5-star, but I don't know if he was the number one defensive tackle. He was. No, Timmy Jernigan not only was, well, according to the composite, he was the number 2 defensive tackle, and he was the top 12 player. The only one rated higher than Timmy Jernigan coming out of high school was Anthony Johnson, who went to LSU. But Jernigan was definitely that dude. By the numbers. By what numbers? If we're just talking recruiting rankings, Hakeem Williams is Norvell's best signee to date. If we're just talking recruiting rankings. I agree with you, Antoine. I agree. We finished the class of 25 very well. It sucks that we won 2 games and we're so far down on recruiting, but they finished strong. I agree with that, actually. Let's get it. Don't disagree with you. As a player, Timmy was better than Eddie Goldman. Meatloaf. Just feel like every big name recruit who makes a name for himself in college flips from us last second. What's up, D. Thompson? Yeah, Jimbo had things going. Prime Odell was a monster, bro. Prime Odell was a monster. Oh, Jernigan definitely was a 5-star. Is it resources or personality thing for Norvell not being able to recruit at that level? So that's been a narrative that's been talked about. What's up, Grand Champion? That's been a narrative that Florida State ain't got. Every time stuff, see, this is where it becomes so hard for me. You would think I hate this man, and I really don't hate the man. I don't care enough about him to hate him. But he has every excuse. People throw every excuse at him to give him a pass. Mike Norvell has had more, what's the word I'm looking for? Support than any coach in the history of this university. He's probably had more support than Bobby Bowden. So for the narrative to be out there that, FSU don't got the money to pay to compete in recruiting is garbage, because they had the money when they went and got out Jared Verse. They had the money when they went out there and got Braden Fisk and Byers and Keon Coleman in the same transfer portal class. They had the money then. We pick and choose when we want to say Mike don't have the resources. Because when stuff don't look too hot, we go, oh, they ain't helping them out. When it's going good, when we're landing the Jared Verses and such and such and such, it's, Mike doing his damn thing. You got to pick and choose a side here. We have to pick and choose a side here. Mike Norvell has more support than any coach in the history of this program, including Bobby. Bobby could just do more with less because he was Bobby Dan Bowden. But it's what's happening, what Mike Norvell has at his disposal is all Jimbo Fischer ever asked for. Is all Jimbo Fischer ever asked for. So I get frustrated. Hold on, give me a second, guys. I get frustrated when I hear all the excuses, man, for this coach. Because God knows that I'm not some Willie Taggart fanboy, but a lot of y'all in the chat ain't give Willie Taggart half of the excuses that y'all give Mike Norvell. I don't want to say why or what that's about. Y'all can come to that conclusion yourself. But it's really crazy to me that a year and a half and that guy was fired. Again, I support the firing because I didn't think Willie Taggart was very good. But Willie Taggart also didn't have half of the support that this man has. FSU went out there and bought all them transfer portal players for this man to go 2-10. Give me a break. Give me a damn break. So for me, it's not a resources thing with Mike. It's never been a resources thing. Thank you. It's never been a thing about resources when it comes to Norvell. Norvell's had the resources to be successful. And he's had some success. Let's not get it twisted. As much as I'm piling on him, he's had success. He won the ACC. He did that. And he flat out got snubbed out of a playoff. That happened to him. But the fact that he did that and then fell off a cliff shows that he wasn't able to sustain it because he can't pile up enough talent to sustain excellence. Hey, I don't think I'm the bad guy when I say these things. I'm the bad guy when I bring up the Keldrick Falks and the KJ Bolden. I'm the bad guy. So again, I ask you, I pray to all the deities that exist, whether I don't know what you believe in, but Buddha, Allah, Jesus Christ, the flying spaghetti monster, whatever you believe in, Thor, Odin the All-Father, whatever you believe in, pray to all of those deities that Mike Norvell can land Henderson. I really do, because I'm a Florida State fan. But there is no history when it comes to that we're going to land a guy like that. There's zero evidence that we're going to land that quality of a player, like that guy. Say it. Why will? Hey, y'all tell me. What's up, Gator Hater? Here's the thing, Ben. I don't disagree with that. I broke down why Willie Taggart was hired in the first place. But at the end of the day, again, the man, even though I thought Willie wasn't good, if you look back on it, did Willie Taggart get a fair shake? But we're not talking about Willie Taggart anymore. The whole point of me bringing up Willie was the fact that what Mike Norvell has at his disposal, no other coach in Florida State's history had that at its disposal. What's up, Kasami? What's up, Mr. Julian? You think 2.5 a year will get him? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about that quarterback? Let's get it. Are you talking? Is that what you're talking about? Again, I'm not making any excuses for Willie in terms of I wanted Willie fired. Here's the beautiful thing about 863 Seminole TV. I don't take any videos off my channel. You can go look at my exact thoughts after that Miami game where Willie Taggart got fired. The video's still up of my reaction. I think it was during the halftime of that game. Y'all know me. I do my halftime reactions. I came on halftime in that game, and the way we played, I said, Willie Taggart needs to get the hell out of Tallahassee. I think those were my words verbatim. Like, I was done at that point. And I think they fired him that week. So I'm not saying Willie Taggart deserved or should have been X, Y, and Z. I'm simply saying Mike Norvell has everything Taggart didn't and everything Jimbo did. And Jimbo Fischer won you a damn national championship. That's all I'm saying. All Jimbo wanted. That's all he wanted. And again, the man won you a natty. Mike will be in the MAC conference because when and if FSU goes to the P2, we need a coach that will have us ready because we're leaving. I definitely think we're going to eventually leave the ACC. I don't disagree with you there. Well, that live stream probably will live on in infamy. Yeah, this clip right here is from that live stream. Shut that up. I want to hear that shit. Good time. That live stream was a good time. Calling it, we're beating Bama. 9-3 season. I love your confidence. I love your confidence, Julian. I have so many good clips from that live stream. I can't find the other one I have. The moment where they actually caught the pass. I wonder if I have that. Y'all about to make me look for that that clip. I don't think I know I have it on my phone for a fact. Let me see if I can get that. That live stream will always go down in the histories. I low-key want to find it now and just relive that moment. Because what a moment it was. There it is. I'm going to send that to myself. What are y'all drinking? Anybody drinking on anything tonight? I'm on Buchanan's. Oh, wait. There we go. I'm on Buchanan's. God damn, get in the camera. Pineapple whiskey. I don't know what y'all drinking, but that's what I'm on. What's your opinion on Brandon Bennett? Who in the blue hell is Brandon Bennett? I don't know, but I'm about to look him up. You've insulted my intelligence, and now I have to see. Brandon Bennett. What the hell is this? American Heritage wide receiver. Okay. I'll be honest with you. This is my first time hearing about him. 6 foot, 170 at American Heritage. Obviously, that's 5'6", nationally ranked 216 according to the composite. I don't have any thoughts on him, but for you, Grand Champion, let's see. Y'all want to watch some Brandon Bennett clips? Because I think I do. Kill's not even the word. What's up, Mr. H? He just listed us in this top 3. Georgia, Florida, Florida. Okay, let's look at him. Let's check out Mr. Bennett. My first time. Oh. Okay, I'm back. My camera just decided to do whatever it wants to do when it wants to do it. Let's take a look at Bennett, though. Josh, shut your ass up, because nobody cares. Can y'all see? I'm not sure what y'all are seeing. I don't think y'all are seeing what I'm seeing right now. Give me 1 second. What the hell is going on? All right. Why are you playing? Well, I need a new computer. Why? Go full screen. Go full screen. Okay, so this doesn't. So unfortunately, I can't get this to go full screen. Don't ask me why. I'm clicking it, and look, it's just not. It's not getting any bigger. And I don't know why. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see that. I can't get it to go full screen, but let's see what Brandon Bennett's looking like. Control zoom. Okay. See, that's why I keep y'all around, because ain't the best when it comes to computers, but I don't think I have a zoom button. Where do you see control zoom at? I got control. I don't have control zoom. Is that control zoom? Is it like F5 or something? Oh, shit, there it is, I think. No, that's not it. What are you doing? That's not it either. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get it. I can't get it. Anyway, watch from a distance. Control and scroll. I don't think that works. It does work. Look at you. You're a damn genius. A damn genius. Look at that. That man's genius. All right, Brandon Bennett. Let's see here. At the bottom of your screen, just a go route and touchdown. At the top of your screen, another go route and touchdown. At the top of your screen again. I wonder how fast he doesn't look like he runs particularly, like he doesn't look particularly explosive, but he looks like he's deceptively like fast. He's not that big. He definitely looks better than everyone he's playing. I mean, but he plays at American Heritage, so it's not like he's not playing competition, right? He's playing competition. It's interesting. He doesn't pop off the screen, in my opinion. So here's interesting. We got a reverse. Yeah, I think he looks like a good player. I don't think he looks like a can't miss prospect. Yeah. Thank you. Definitely, Ben. Ben's the man. He's a damn genius. A damn genius. He's one of the top in the 100 meters. Okay. It just doesn't look explosive to me. But again, he looks fluid. So he doesn't look awkward in his movements. He just doesn't pop. But that doesn't mean he's not moving. You say you coached against him. He's pretty good. He's 6'170". That's his measurables. Again, not a bad player. Apparently, FSU's in this top 3. So 100%. If you can get him, I'm with it. Here it is. Y'all want to go take a trip down memory lane real quick? Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can. Local video. Upload a video.
But to me, it looked like. Oh my God.
Live reaction. That is a live reaction, folks. That is not edited. That is during the game. And that is an authentic reaction. Couldn't believe what I had just watched. One more time. One more time. Can y'all see it? Hold on. I don't think. Hold on. I don't think it's showing. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back. What are we doing? What are we doing? Here's one more time. Here's one more time, man, because it's so funny. Again, that is an authentic. Like that was
But to me,
that's
it
a
looked like.
real time reaction.
Oh my God.
I was done at that point. I was done. Look at the chat. Look at the people in the chat. Look at the Rose goes, "Are you kidding me?" Mr. H is in the chat at the time saying, "Wow." Good times. Good times. You can look back on that now and laugh. And yeah, Mike Marvell is responsible for that too, by the way. Just saying. Just saying. What else we got tonight, guys? It's only been an hour and 30. It's still nose after dark, bro. We still got some time. Come on. What else y'all got? What else we talking about tonight? What else we talking about? Where Kane Zay at? Great question. What up, Terrell? I think I almost broke my TV remote that day. That is facts. After that day, I've never watched another live stream. I've never done another watch along after that game. This almost as bad as Mario not taking a knee. It might have been worse, bro. Because at least at the end of the day, Mario lost to Georgia Tech. We lost to Jacksonville State. And at that time, they weren't D1. Yes, baseball won. Yeah, the softball. Talking about ladies. Yeah, the softball. How the ACC will look this year? I don't know, man. That's a great question. I think Clemson's the obvious favorite, and then I think the rest of the ACC is kind of like bunched in a pack. I think it's Clemson and everybody else this year. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just my opinion. I'm absolutely gonna play college football 26. Jacksonville, Alabama. Not North Carolina. It's Alabama. The game, right? Jacksonville State is in Alabama. It's in Alabama. I'm pretty sure it's in Alabama. Let me double check that. I think it's in Alabama, though. Yeah, it's in Alabama. Clemson is getting a lot of gas this year. Is Cade really going to be that good? I don't think he has to be, though. That's the thing, Grill Master. I don't think he has to be. And I'm only talking about the ACC. I don't know where Clemson stacks nationally. I have watched plenty of Cade, and I don't know if he's that. But I don't know if he has to be not to win the ACC. I don't think he has to be. Who's the best quarterback in the ACC? There's a better question for you. Who's the best quarterback? It's probably Klubnik. Who's the second best? That's an even better question because I don't have an answer for that at all. Is it Carson Beck? I would say statistically it probably lines up to Carson Beck. But we're about to find out how good Carson Beck really is. I've never been a Carson Beck guy. I think when you have the type of talent that you have around you, Carson Beck, you look pretty damn good with the type of talent that he had around him at Georgia. Carson Beck's going to be asked to elevate talent now at Miami. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty convinced that TC is middle of the pack at best as far as quarterback goes. So I don't see our quarterback in the mix for top quarterback in the ACC. But I think it's Klubnik and everybody else. And I think Clemson's the team to beat in the ACC. And then you got Jennings. Jennings' progression is going to do a lot for SMU. If he takes the next step, talking about it's Bradley Jennings? But y'all know I'm talking about the SMU quarterback. I mean, that's a guy who might be the second best quarterback in the conference. So, yeah. I'll be damned, Antoine. I'll be damned. Top 5 teams in college football going into the season. Ooh. This year's an interesting year because who are the favorites? That's a great question. Texas lost stuff. Georgia lost some stuff. Ohio State lost almost all of their stuff, with the exception of Jeremiah Smith. Who are the top 5 teams? That's a good question for the chat. Who are the top 5 teams in college football going into the season? I don't have it. Usually I'm pretty well, got a pretty decent pulse on that. I would have Oregon in the top 5 somewhere. I don't necessarily know where, but I would throw Oregon in there. I don't think Clemson's the top 5. I'm trying to look at the major conferences. From a talent perspective, Ohio State's probably still in the mix. Right? I don't know where I'd put them though. Like who's Ohio State's quarterback this year? Oregon. Is Georgia the favorite in the SEC? Who's the favorite in the SEC? Like there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of legit questions, I think. Great. That's a good question. I don't know. I have to look through it. Penn State, you think Penn State's top 5? I know they got Drew Aller, and everybody's kind of hyping that up. Remains to be seen for me. That's just me, though. Momo says it's Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Penn State. I think people are way too high on Penn State. That's just me, though. Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, and Georgia make sense just because of the way they recruit. Penn State doesn't make sense to me. I get it. Everybody thinks Drew Aller's about to take the step. I would take Clemson over Penn State. If Penn State and Clemson played head-to-head, I'd take Clemson. Does Brian Kelly get fired this year if he doesn't do something? I don't know. I got to ask an LSU fan that and how they feeling. I know he hasn't won anything, but he has had a Heisman winner and some other stuff, so we'll see. LSU has talent. They have talent every year. Ronaldo, you're a genius. But congratulations, though. Again, I hear you. I just don't believe it. I would take Clemson over Penn State. Ohio State, Penn, Oregon, Georgia, Texas. So I guess those are the official rankings y'all are throwing at me. Again, I just don't believe Penn State is. That's just me, though. Texas, they recruit well. Texas is another team that, okay, Arch Manning really supposed to be that guy. Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Sorry, Clemson is 5, then Penn State. I mean, I would head to head, I'd take Clemson over Penn State. That's just me. We need another FSU dynasty. This year's going to be better. I think this year, guys, you got to remember last year, college football, I was in Korea and I was doing a lot of things and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. This year, I think we're going to have a better dynasty. I'm going to do another dynasty for the channel this year, though I don't think I'm going to run it. I'm going to get Jurgen or Terrence to be the commissioner on that one. But I will have a lot more time. I won't be a gazillion miles away in Korea this year. And then I will be doing I'm gonna tell you right now, spoiler alert, I'm firing Mike Norvell day one dynasty. We're firing Mike Norvell. And coaches are in the game this year, so Mike Norvell will be in the game. And he's getting his ass fired. I ain't dealing with him. Remains to be seen. We'll see. Arch, is he really favored for the Heisman as of right now? Interesting. Aren't we all, my friend? Aren't we all? Penn State got a top 10 defense plus the running backs and one of the top teams with the return. Again, I'm standing on what I stand on when I say I would take Clemson over Penn State every Saturday. Hey, buy it. You want to? Well, I know you're working on that degree, but if you got time, was you at Osan or Kunsan? I was at Camp Casey in Korea. I was at Camp Casey. Brian Kelly at FSU. I'll pass. Mike gone. Yeah, day one. Day one. Get his sorry ass. I can't do it in real life. I'm firing his ass on the game. I'm telling you that right now. How long does Mike have? And okay. How long does he have? Okay, now, Ronaldo, I don't know how long you've been a part of the channel, been subscribed. Again, appreciate you. And again, congratulations on working on that second bachelor's. But I really feel like this is my first time seeing you in the chat. So I just want to say those things. Thank you for being here. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Do all the good things for me. So I've answered this question a million times, so I'm going to do it again. How long does Mike Norvell have? If it was me, this is my opinion. This is how I feel. Mike Norvell would be fired already if it was me. 2-10 is, I understand, undefeated regular season, and you missed the playoff, which wasn't your fault. It was a complete travesty, or whatever you want to label that as, what happened to us in 2023, 24, whatever. 2 years ago. Complete joke what happened to your boys. You can't follow that up with 2-10. And then you can't not be able to recruit, and you can't go 2-10, and you can't lose to Duke for the first time, and you can't lose to FCS school for the first time. He's had the worst loss in program history. Lost to Duke the first time ever in program history. Went to the worst season in program. Like, too many historic moments under the Norvell era, the negative way for me. And as far as who would replace him, that's why you have an AD and all that good stuff. I don't know who would replace him. Penn State QB just doesn't stand. Drew Aller, I don't see it in him either, Antoine. I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's why I'd say Penn State is overrated to me right now. Penn State, like every year, is gonna lose to Ohio State. And Michigan, they got Underwood, and I think Michigan bounces back. Like, you can put Penn State at top 5 team right now. That's cool. I don't see. I'm good because I know Penn State will at least have 2 losses by the end of the season. I mean, yeah, I watch pro football. I'm not necessarily I don't have a professional football team, but I definitely watch it. No, thank you for supporting me. What type of coach you think they gave him in 26? Probably program destroyer. Probably motivator, if I had to guess. If they got the same categories that they had last year, he'd probably be labeled as like a motivator or something like that. Yeah, I understand all the finances and stuff with that. You know, I like to sit in my fantasy world where I can just fire guys like that. I understand financials that are behind Mike Norvell. Lost to Memphis, good point. Lost to SMU. Yeah, I saw that. I think, man, who was the team? What team was I think, was it Denver? No, Washington. Washington, I think, is interested in Jalen Ramsey. I appreciate that, Jerry, and he's not lying. This is the most interactive show for the Florida State football fan, and I stand on that. And I always say that. As you can see, I read everybody's comment. Everybody's involved in the conversation. So Jerry Green is not lying when he said this is the best show for the Florida State football fan. And you're gonna get the truth from me, whether you like it or not. Whether you want to come out here and hear sunshine. If they deserve it, they're going to get it. You want to hear me get in their ass? If they deserve it, they're going to get it. What you going to get here is the goddamn truth. Thank you, Jerry, for that. What's up, Island Boy? I'm Island Boy, just trying to make it. But what else we got tonight? What else we got? Yeah, I mean, if we just continue to look forward to the season, you know, like I told y'all last week, we're going to get more in the swing of this, man. I'm back. I've done my schooling. I should have a lot more time on my hands going forward. So I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. This is going to be, I've been doing this channel now for 6 years? I started this channel midway through I started this channel, like week 2 or 3 of Willie Taggart's tenure. Of course, he got fired. And I've been here for Mike's every down. I've been here for Mike Norvell. And I got to tell you, I'm almost ready for this thing to end. Arizona State coach from FSU is killing. Yeah, Kenny Dillingham's doing a good job. I just don't think he's a fit here, Ronaldo. Ice Cold know what it do. Ben with the $5. He says, haven't actually supported the channel before. I just want, hey, Ben, my guy. I appreciate it. And believe it or not, the super chats are just a bonus for me. I appreciate it. I love it. But just being here, hit that like button for me is all the support that your boy really needs. So I appreciate you, Ben. You've been supporting the channel more than you know. Yeah, more money, yeah. Yeah, Willie Taggart up there coaching Derrick Henry. Good point. If Willie Taggart is up there at Baltimore coaching Derrick Henry. We almost got Henry. You know, this is an interesting thing. I don't know if y'all remember Micah Fitzpatrick, Devontae Smith, who won the Heisman. Jimbo Fischer was like leading for all of those guys. Had FSU had the resources that they had now and given them Jimbo Fischer, I think Jimbo would have went on a Nick Saban-esque run. I know that's crazy to say, but I really want y'all to educate yourselves. I'm not saying you're not educated, Momo. I'm simply stating in general. If you don't know, I want you to go back in the years post 2013. So I'm talking 14, 15, 16, up until it all fell off the train tracks. But I really want you to go look up in those specific years I'm talking about, 14, 15, 16. I think 17 is when that shit fell off the train. 14, 15. I want you to go look at the players that Florida State barely missed on. And what you're talking about, Justin Fields. You're talking about Derrick Henry, Micah Fitzpatrick, Devontae Smith. I want you to go look at the players FSU is recruiting and barely missed on because they were behind the curve in facilities. They were behind the curve in resources. Go back and look what Jimbo Fischer was trying to build, not having all those things that Nick Saban had. I'm telling you, pound for pound, Jimbo was on a level with Nick in terms of recruiting. That is not me just being, whatever. That is legit. Nick had more money behind his back at Alabama. Alabama was investing in everything Nick Saban wanted, and he got that, and that's why Nick Saban was who he was. Plus, Nick Saban's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. Jimbo Fischer was neck and neck there, man. If he had the resources that Mike Norvell has, Jimbo Fischer might have went on a historic run, and we might have a whole different. I'm just saying. Go back and look at the guys that FSU barely missed on. 14, 15, 16. Those 3 years specifically. I'm talking about post-2013, post-national championship. Go look on those guys. Go look at go look how FSU was recruiting and who they were trying to get and who they were this close to getting. I'm telling you, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. Back to the comments. I'm happy for Travis Hunter. Yeah. I'm interested to see how he's used in Jacksonville for sure. I like how I'm not the only one pissed when we lose, Polk. Makes me feel a little better. We dominated recruiting with Jimbo. Momo says, I remember. Travis Hunter. Yeah. He flat out said visitors wanted a practice facility. Polk, you ain't lying. Administration is the reason FSU is in this mess. Yep. He ain't building up. Bro, we go back and look at Bama. There's a lot of players that ended up at Bama that Florida State had locked up. I'm telling you. But Bama had the better facility. Bama had the better trajectory to the NFL because of the facilities and things around the program that FSU was lacking at the time. But there's a bunch of players that you can list off. It's unfortunate how it ended up playing out. It really is. It really is. So I say this all the time, or at least when it comes to Jimbo. I hate the way he left us. But when you look back on it, can you blame him? Can you blame Jimbo when you look back on it? Yeah, you can blame him. I blame him. You didn't have to tank the program the way he did just because you didn't get what you want. But in a way, you could almost understand what his problem was, man. Right? Like, in a way, you can understand what Jimbo Fisher, like, you can understand why Jimbo Fisher did what he did. I don't think Jimbo, again, this is all revisionist history. This is all in hindsight. But you look at how he ended up at Texas A&M, and look at how that thing. I don't think Jimbo's heart was ever in it at A&M. I don't think Jimbo Fisher necessarily wanted to leave Tallahassee. I really don't think he wanted that. Jimbo Fisher had the storybook set up. He took over for the legend, and unlike most people who take over for the legend, he took over for the legend in-house. It was set on the table for him. And not only did he take over for the legend, he did what the legend had done in a shorter amount of time. He won a natty. He was on his way. But he also had the foresight to go, I see where college football is going. Florida State, we need to do X, Y, and Z if we want to stay relevant. And Florida State pretty much told him to kick rocks. And then here we go. And then starts the chain of events. And now we have Mike Norvell fucking go. I can't wait to Florida State back. I think with the right coach, we can be. I think Florida State has proven, in my opinion, unlike the other two universities in this state, Florida State has proven, even in the last 3 years. Again, we got snubbed out of a playoff spot. If that was the BCS, FSU's in the BCS, right? If that was the BCS 2 years ago, Florida State's in the BCS. What wins over LSU? And a Heisman winner? Right? I think this university, in my opinion, more so than Florida and more so than Miami, especially Miami, has proven, give me the right guy. We get the train on the tracks. We just got to get the right guy. I don't think we have the right guy. Maybe if he gets Keyshawn Henderson, maybe he turns into the right guy. That's highly doubtful. That's a 5% chance of happening, in my opinion. That's just me. I miss the top classes every year that Jimbo used to bring in. So if we have Jimbo, the resources, it would have been us dominating the 2010s instead of Bama. No, okay, so you got to remember, I'm talking post-2013. So we would have dominated Dominate's a strong word because you still have Nick Saban there. Nick Saban isn't going anywhere. But what I can tell you is that success that Clemson, bro, 2013, Florida State is here. Clemson thinks they're here, and we knocked their ass back to reality. This was the gap of Florida State and Clemson in 2013. Clemson almost immediately closed that gap, and then bam, it was reversed. What I'm telling you is that Clemson-Florida State gap stays in that area. Maybe the Clemson gets, instead of here, they get to here, but Florida State's still the superior program. And how many, Dabo won 2 in that time span, right? Bama's still there. Ohio State is still there. But Clemson, instead of Florida State, Clemson emerges. I'm telling you, Clemson doesn't emerge and Florida State's still there. That's what I'm telling you. You don't know about Castellanos. I don't know about him either. I'll tell you better yet, I do know about him. Y'all about to find out this fall, though. Well, if you remember, the talks for Jimbo and LSU happened the year prior to him eventually leaving. There was talks about Jimbo Fischer leaving a year prior to he actually left. But again, this all stems from him wanting more resources and getting told no. You never hear about the LSU rumors a year prior, and you never hear about him eventually going to A&M if you give Jimbo what he wants. Actually, there was rumors for him. Texas wanted him very bad too, post the national championship. None of that stuff happens if Jimbo Fischer has the things that he wants. I feel better about TC if he cut that wild looking. I'll be honest with you, William. The hair ain't gonna matter. it ain't the hair, my guy. It's crazy to say I kind of like Castellanos. What do you like about him, Ben? What do you like about him? Again, I'm not trying to. I'm just. What do you like? What do you like about him? He can move. You like him because he can move. Hold on. Almighty says, I don't know. Clemson's been climbing and heading up since they fired Tommy. But I do agree. If administration does right by Jimbo, there's still a gap. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying Clemson doesn't close. Like Clemson goes from, remember, 2013. That's on the road in Death Valley, and we embarrassed them. I'm not saying Clemson doesn't maybe creep up a little bit. But it doesn't completely reverse if Jimbo Fischer gets what he wants. You don't close that type of gap in 2 or 3 years unless we know Clemson invested in that program and the results paid off. Florida State didn't, and those results paid off. You feel me? DJU can move like walking mud. I mean, if you want to compare him to DJU, sure, he can move, and he will be with a play caller who then will emphasize his movement. Sure, and that's the positive things that you want to take from Thomas Castellanos. I don't disagree with you. He's athletic. He can move. He has an offensive play caller who will try to utilize those attributes and those abilities to the best, right? The problem I have is there will be obvious passing downs. Week 1 against Bama. Bama will get you into 3rd and longs. Bama will get you into 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 7s, obvious passing downs. And Bama will be licking their chops because they know Thomas Castellanos won't be able to make the throw in those situations. That's where FSU is going to get really messed up. If they can't if FSU can't run the ball at a really consistent clip to keep defenses honest, and that you can say that about any offense, but this offense in particular, because in the obvious passing downs, I don't believe Thomas Castellanos has the arm talent nor the decision-making ability to consistently beat defenses with his arm in obvious passing down situations. I feel like Castellanos has a bit of Jordan Travis in him. On my really watched him against FSU, but he reminded. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of hearing that. To be honest with you, Ben, I don't see. I don't think he's nearly. So here's the thing about Jordan Travis that everybody's forgetting when I keep hearing the comparisons. Y'all don't remember 2020 and 2021 and hell, the beginning of 2022, he was great. 2020 and 2021, Jordan Travis, yeah, that Jordan Travis existed. And he had to grow into the player that he became. The beautiful thing about Jordan Travis is he had those 4 years to do that. 1 extra year because of a COVID year, and then he was able to grow with the same coach. Jordan Travis didn't happen overnight. And anybody that watches Florida State and watched Florida State over that time will tell you Jordan Travis did not happen overnight. Point blank, period. We are expecting Thomas Castellanos to happen overnight. That is my problem. I actually think Thomas Castellanos has room to potentially grow. Unlike DJU, I don't think he's a finished product. But that means next year you might see the Thomas Castellanos that everybody thinks he can be. Because this year is not going to be the case. I don't believe that. Appreciate you, William, with the $4. He says, LOL, so it's not the hair. It's not the hair. I promise you, TC control had the curls. Y'all can't tell. But see, your boy been going with the curls too. I don't think y'all can't really tell. Let me see. Hold on. Y'all can't really tell. But I done changed up my look too. See, I got the curls kind of going. I got the curls going too. Anyway, it ain't the curls. It ain't dreads. It ain't afro. Hair ain't gonna matter. I promise you that. Appreciate that dono, William. Appreciate that dono.
Bitch, be humble. Bitch, sit down.
That's the problem I have too, Ben, is that everybody's taking the things that he did against Florida State and they're going, hey, remember what he did against us? Yeah, there's a reason why your defensive coordinator is no longer employed here. There's a reason why your defensive coordinator got fired. I know what he did against us, but go take a look at Thomas Castellanos against other teams, and you tell me, was he looking the same way he looked against Florida State? Was he looking the same? That's the issue. That's another issue I have. TC is a junior. TC has 2 years of eligibility, if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check. You know me, I like to be accurate. But I'm almost convinced. I believe Thomas has 2 years of eligibility. Be humble. Sit down. Pretty sure. Or maybe I'm wrong. FSU has him listed as a senior. I thought he had 2 years for some reason. I'm wrong. FSU has him listed as a senior. So, all right, may very well be wrong on that. You're 36. I'm 37. You grew up rooting for Virginia Tech. Ronaldo. Okay, I'm curious now. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Look, FSU fans, before we continue, do y'all have any reservations of Ronaldo? He said he grew up a Virginia Tech fan. I think he's switching over to the good guys in the back here. Do we have any reservations before we continue? I'm just curious, though, Ronaldo. At 36, what's making you change squads? Again, I'm 37. Let me tell you, I'm 37. I've been a Florida State fan my whole life, and I'm also a Knicks fan. And my Knicks, this is the first time for me when it comes to Florida State. I've never thought I'd ever experience a 2-10 football team at this university. But my Knicks have been forever garbage. And I've never once wanted to switch teams. So I'm just curious, Ronaldo. Reynaldo. Why the switch? And FSU fans, do you accept him? I accept you. If you want to come over to the Garnet and Gold, bro, I accept you. But I'm curious now. FSU fans, are y'all accepting Ronaldo Gonzalez tonight? Oh, no, it's in. Look, Ben, I'm 100% in rigs. You see this? I have a tapered appearance. My hair does not touch my ears. 100%. Big Sarge is always in regs. We didn't have a rivalry with Virginia Tech. No, Miami did. And I guess I don't know if Miami still considers them a rival or not. Gotta remember, growing up, Vatech was Big East. We were ACC. The only time we saw Vatech was in the Natty. So there's not really a rivalry there. I agree, Momo. Never too late to root for the good guys. Hey, see? You being accepted, Ronaldo. You being accepted. I'm just, it's all love over here. Jay says you can have his fandom. He's done. Well, then, Jay, you got to change the name, brother. Jay Kane. I don't know. What are you going to change the name to? J Dog. I don't know what you're going to change the name to. But Ronaldo, Jay said you can have his spot because he's pissed off. In college, I only have one team. I mean, in every sport I root for, I have one team. NBA, I have a team and a half. I am a Knicks fan through and through. But growing up in Central Florida and my favorite player as a kid being Tracy McGrady, I do have a soft spot for the Magic. I'm not a Magic fan per se, but I will root for them. You know what I'm saying? I have a soft spot for the Magic. That is probably the closest thing I have to a second team. TC played in a bowl game his freshman year, and once the rules changed, technically he can have that extra year. So he does have an extra year, right? I know I'm not crazy when I thought he had an extra year. Yeah, we played them in the ACC championship a couple times. I still don't. They're not a rival, though. He's a spy. Who's he spying on? Who's he spying on? Jerry thinks you're a spy. What else we got tonight? This is good stuff. Good stuff, guys. What else? Come on. What else we got? What else y'all want to talk about when it comes to these Seminoles? How we feeling about? We done spent a lot of time on QBs tonight, and y'all know how I feel about. Y'all know how I feel about Thomas Castellanos. But how are we feeling about we have receivers? Can the receivers help elevate TC? I don't necessarily think so. But I like Deuce Robinson. I just hope we can get him the damn ball. I think that was a problem with last year's receivers. I'm not saying last year's receiving group was great, but I think Malik Benson is going to go to Oregon, and he's going to show some things. You can't tell me our receivers were terrible last year when you couldn't get them the ball. That's just how I feel. That's legitimately how I feel, man. Hey, I appreciate you asking that. I'm good. I am good, man. Career's doing good. I'm good. I'll be moving here shortly. I'll still be in Texas, but I'll be damn near in Mexico. I'll be going to El Paso here shortly. But I can't complain. I cannot complain. Baseball won. They did win tonight. Yeah. FSU football school. Yes. I walked by D-Jack the other day. This dude is huge, but I don't know how I feel about him being our number one D lineman. I don't think that's a problem. I think the new scheme actually fits what he brings to the table. Grill master. Bulls all day, Polk. Gave Knicks nightmares. I mean, you had Michael Jordan, bro. I'm a Jordan fan. You had Michael Jordan. Yeah, he gave nightmare. Michael Jordan gave everybody in the league from 84 to 98 nightmares. Bro, we talking Michael Jordan. Shout out to the Bulls and Michael Jordan. But, that's what we talking about. The run game has to be consistent in order for the off. No, 100%. 100%, Ronald. How do we feel about the O-line? I know you count down the days of retirement. Hey, if you like outdoor stuff, White Sands pretty close to El Paso. Great spot to take the kids. I'll be sure to check it out, Ben. Appreciate that. Lakers. Yeah. My problem with Laker fans is Laker fans to me are like, and this is going to make some people mad. Laker fans to me are like Cowboy fans, bro. They're just a bunch of all the Cowboys fans are just from the 90s, and they just stayed Cowboys fans because that was the team of the 90s. I feel like Laker fans are the same way. I feel like Laker fans are all from that Shaq, Kobe era, and they just stayed Laker fans. I legit feel that way. One thing about me, I'm a Knicks fan, so you can't never tell me I'm not a real fan because we've been trash pretty much my entire lifetime. Outside of the 90s Knicks and the late 90s Knicks and Carmelo Anthony's Knicks for a couple years. Bro, being a Knicks fan is tough work. Laker fans, I don't believe there are any. If you don't live in California, I don't really believe in real Laker fans. I'm going to be honest with you. Which young DB do you think going to step up this year besides Rawls? I think Bates. Well, y'all know how I feel. I feel like if Rawls is being considered your best DB, there's a damn problem. I would love for it to be Bates. To answer your question directly, I got to pick one of the young ones. I like the Bates pick. If I got to pick one of the young ones, I will go with Bates or Kirkland. Your main issue was the effort last year? Dog, the problem last year was the talent evaluation across the board. Wasn't the effort. And I hear what you're saying because I know there are guys like Pat Payton and other guys that you question their effort. The talent evals last year was the problem. The fact that you thought DJU was the fact that you thought DJ Uiagalelei was comparable to Cam Ward, that you exited your remember Cam Ward, Florida State, Miami are going neck and neck for Cam Ward. So much so that Cam Ward can't make a decision. And what does he do? He declares for the draft. And instead of FSU saying, like Miami did, I'm going to call your bluff and we're going to continue to recruit you, Florida State thinks, we're not going to play that game with Cam Ward. We got a guy in DJU who we think is just as good. We think Cam Ward's better, but not by a huge margin. We're going to let Cam Ward do his thing, because I don't believe for 1 second Florida State thought Cam Ward was going to the NFL. But I think when he started playing those games, I think they said, you know what, man, we got a guy. We're going to go with him. The fact that you did that, to me, tells you all I need to know. Because Miami didn't budge, and he went to Miami. I agree with you, Brewmaster. I feel pretty decent about the O-line myself. That's still one of the craziest moments from last year. Was D-Jack having he's got him for a sack, and Lagway tossed him. Yeah. 17 chips. I hear you. Don't Boston got more chips than y'all, though? I agree, Ben. I don't believe a lot of Laker fans are real fans, bro. We got a dog at every position. I don't know what kind of dog. So it could be a pit bull. It could be a damn chihuahua. It could be a Rottweiler. It could be a damn miniature poodle. But we got a dog. I hear you, Jerry. We'll see. Macro, what's good? Summertime is here. No smack talking until July. See, this is BS. Knicks fans do not talk trash. I think people just hate the Knicks because we're in New York. Knicks fans are some of the most realistic fans in the entire basketball world. Knicks fans do not come on here every year and go, the Knicks are going to be amazing. We know we suck most years. You've never heard a Knicks fan, unless it's warranted, come on and go, yeah, we like the Cowboys do, or like other teams. You never heard the Knicks fans be like, yeah, we finna win 60 games this year. No. Ward had no shot. I disagree. I don't think he wouldn't been the drafted as he was drafted this year, but he was a draftable guy. Like, again, I don't like this. I mean, I don't mind tooting my own horn. I said, and I know you're new to the channel, Ronaldo. I was saying over a year ago, I said, if you don't know who this kid Cam Ward is, this guy is the truth. Like, he was QB1 for me a year ago. People thought I was crazy. People thought I was stupid. Because I'm looking at the way he throws a football. His arm talent is special. And when he got some talent around him, where he found that at Miami, you saw what he was able to do. Miami's defense failed them last year. So you just don't like Spike, man. Come on. We not talking about Boston. I hear you, Momo. I hear you. POLK, pick a game. Let's go and meet and have 863 there, bro. You should do this my profession doesn't allow me to be as accessible all the time. Again, last year I spent an entire year in Korea. This year I'm back in the States. The problem, I would have tried to make that Bama game. Problem is I'm moving around that time. I got other expenses. So what I do for a living, doesn't always. But I agree with you, Jerry. I like to do more things where I like last year, man. If I would have been here, that SMU game would have been prime. I live in Central Texas. That SMU game would have been 3 hours away. I would have been there, locked in, ready to go. But didn't get a chance, obviously, because I wasn't even in the United States. So I'm with you. The problem is my schedule is so unpredictable at times. I can't just take off and leave when I want to. I wish I could. Hey, I won't be doing this forever. Once October hits, I got four more years. I'm almost at retirement, bro. I'm almost at retirement. Lester in the doghouse. I still don't believe Ward is an NFL QB. That's crazy. I 100% think Ward's an NFL QB. I still don't believe. Oh, yes, on Nick. No, we don't. Miami's defense was an absolute joke. Well, I'm just saying, what I do for a living, my profession. I didn't say I was dealing in narcotics. I'm just saying. My schedule's unpredictable. I can't always hop up and leave like I want to. Wish I could, though. Wish I could. Do y'all think I'm going to pose some questions to y'all. Tight end. How much will TC use his tight ends? He's got a talented tight end room. I think a lot of people are forgetting Randy Pittman, who you brought in from UCF, who had some good numbers at UCF, by the way. So it's not that Gus can't utilize the tight end, because he's proof that Gus can utilize the tight end. But how much is TC going to use the tight end? You have Landon Thomas, who I think is a guy that everybody has a lot of promise and wants to be great. You kept Marcus and Douglas. So you now have, and you Chase Lofton. So you have a tight end room that I think a lot of people are excited to see. I personally think just Pittman and Thomas alone, the hell with Biscuit. Those two, to me, give you a pretty good tight end duo. You would think Thomas Castellanos uses that tight end room as a blanket, as a safety, for the simple fact that he's not the best, most consistent passer. And those guys should be open to get to some easy yards. What are we expecting from the tight end room? As I just posed some questions for the chat. By the way, if you guys haven't done it for me, this is my first time asking this entire live stream. Hit the like button for me. Share the video. It's 11:40 here Central Time. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning East Coast time. This is what we do, man. This is Noles After Dark. This is Noles After Dark. So we just here live talking. Got 48 people in here at almost 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Almost 12 o'clock in the morning on Central Time. So again, hit the like button for your boy, and share the video. What will it take for FSU to be winning ACC and Natties? What will it take? A better talent acquisition, a combination of portal, which FSU, the one credit you got to give Mike Norvell, he has been good in the portal at getting talent. The problem is he hasn't like balanced it out with the high school guys. So like when Verse leaves, when Fisk leaves, when Keon Coleman leaves, you should have had high schoolers ready to take that next step, and you didn't have it so it's going to take more consistent high school recruiting, continue to recruit the portal the way you recruit it, but you're going to have to continue. You have to get better high school recruiting for us to get back in the ACC and Natty picture. First and foremost, get better talent. That's the biggest thing. Get better talent, period. Until you get better talent, none of all this, like land Henderson, like get that type of guy. Until you get that, what are we really talking about? Like, we're not talking about anything? Great question, Marcus. I'm gonna be like a fish out of water. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll do this full time. I don't know if that's gonna be enough to sustain me. But maybe I'll do this full time. Thomas will be his blanket now that Morlock is gone. Oh, don't even remind me about that guy. I think a tight end finishes top 2 in receiving yards. Wow. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I really don't. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, Ben. That's a perplexing situation, I think, in my opinion. To say a tight end is going to be top 2 in receiving yards by the end of the year. That's interesting. Very interesting. I'll take a shot. I'll take one with y'all. Go ahead. If y'all want to take a shot with your boy, I'm finna. See that? I got a shot in here. Just let me know when you're ready. We knock one back. Black Nicholson. Who the hell is Black Nicholson? Y'all be saying names that I don't have no idea who y'all be talking about. Black Nicholson. Now I'm finna Google Black Nicholson because I have no idea who you're talking about. Is that a code name for somebody? Black Nicholson. Black Nicholson. I've never. Who the hell is Black Nicholson? Have I lost my mind? Am I drunk? Blake. I was like, okay, Blake Nicholson. I'm a Black Nicholson. I kind of thought you meant Blake, but I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I wasn't 100% sure. I thought maybe this was like a high school recruit that we were looking at. Cheers. Cheers to everybody in chat. Again, if you're drinking something, take one with your boy. If not, I understand. I heard the UCF head coach say that this week, Big 12 coaches have agreed to 1 portal window and not 2 portal windows. It's too much. I don't think 2 portal windows is too much. I think the timing is too much. I think the biggest problem with the portal as it currently stands is coaches are trying to close the portal, and high school is it's clashing. Coaches are trying to close up their recruiting classes while also trying to keep their own players from hopping into the portal. It's almost an impossible scenario for a lot of coaches. I think the problem with the portal is the timing, not that it's 2. I think that's the issue. Why do you think top recruits aren't considering FSU much? I think because your coach just is a good guy, but I don't know if he hits all the check marks. If I'm being honest, I think it has a lot to do with who your head coach is. Y'all can throw out money scenarios or whatever you want to throw out. I believe that. I don't believe there's a high belief that Mike Norvell is a big time winner. I don't disagree. Well, Vontae, unfortunately, that's the issue, right? That's the issue. I think Blake is in a but if we're talking about Blake, I think Blake he's going to be in that mix. He's going to be in that mix with Omar and Cryer and Elijah and Elijah Henderson. Who's the other guy we got? Shaq Thompson? I think those 5 probably make up your legit linebacking core / room. I think Blake's in the mix there, man. I really do. I don't know how good he is. We don't get the spring game this year to see, but I think Blake's Blake is in the mix. Video chat. What do you mean? What do you mean, Ben? You say, am I ever going to do the video chat thing again? I think you only did it one stream, but I thought it was cool. If you're talking about me sending out a link and bringing people in, no, I've done that many of times. I've done it plenty of times. I can definitely do it again. It's not a big deal. The one thing about when I do that, for some reason, every time I do that, everybody says, "Oh, you need to send out a link. I want to talk." And then I'll send out a link, and nobody clicks it. Nobody wants to talk. If that's what you're talking about, no, I can do that again. He says, "See, I can't indulge in the greenery. I can't indulge in that." No, you're good, Ben. But I've sent out links. I've done that more than just one live stream. But no, I don't have a problem with doing that. I don't have a problem with doing that at all. What in the hell? What's up, Chris? Gotta tell you, even then, okay, I rock with you. Hey, I appreciate you. I know a lot of Miami fans actually do rock with your boy. I mean, I keep it real. They still fuck Miami though. But no, for real though, Chris, appreciate you for coming in and hit the like button for your boy. Man, if you blow up, I'm gonna miss this streams. Nah, man, me blow up. I've been doing this for what, 5-6 years? Ben, I won't never say never. But how do I say this? You know why I'll never become what others be? I don't know if y'all realize. I think the people that follow me on Twitter might realize this more than some of y'all. Some of y'all that just follow me on YouTube may not realize this. But if you follow me on Twitter, I think you know when I say it, you're gonna be like, yeah, he's right. A lot of Florida State fans don't like me. There's a lot of people that don't like me. So I don't know if I'll ever blow up. If you just follow me on YouTube, you're like, hey, man, he seems pretty cool. He seems like he's, insightful, knowledgeable, whatever the case. Twitter, they don't like me because they feel like I speak too negatively on the team. So whether or not I blow up or not, at the end of the day, this is a hobby, and I just enjoy doing it. I lived in Michigan the year they won the Natty. That was a crazy one. I'm a football fan, just never picked a team. Hey, pick the good guys, my guy. Come on. Pick them. What's stopping you? You see Peter Ward? Miami? What's up, Chris? Chris will tell you. I'm about to make Chris mad, y'all. Miami ain't got nobody like Peter Ward to root for. See, I'm about to make Chris mad. Miami ain't got nobody like Peter Ward to root for. Go ahead. Pick the good guys, man. Root for the good guys. Chris says, I think y'all do much better this year. Bro, we went 2-10. We better. Come on now, Chris. You know how 2-10? Better do better. What the hell are we talking about? Everyone on Twitter is toxic. I just think you could potentially be the voice of the FSU community, especially if you do it full time. You're really the only dude that I think keeps it legit. Bro, I really appreciate that, Ben. You don't know how much I appreciate that. And you're right. if I did it full, if I invested as much time and energy as some others, maybe I could. I don't. I just don't have the time. And you know, with my profession, with what I do, yeah. But you know, being in the military as a full-time active duty, like I'm not reservist, I'm not National Guard, not knocking reservist or National Guard. If you're a reserve, if you're compo 2 or 3. But being active duty full time, like this is what I do. I don't have the time to be a full time voice of Florida State football. And on top of the fact that I don't care about the feelings, like I'll never get the Mike Norvell interview. I'll never get the Mike Alford interview. I'll never get the Mike Norvell interview. Because I talk shit. When Mike Norvell calls a sucky ass game, I'm gonna say Mike Norvell called a sucky ass game. What I have learned doing this, even as a hobby, what I have done. What I have learned doing this as a hobby, what I've learned is if you don't say the things that people want you to say, like if we're talking about doing this like full time, actually, like, I mean, who's the biggest FSU YouTube channel? I don't know. It's not me, but y'all can name them, whoever y'all think they are. Those same people you might name, though, just to be clear, those same people that some of y'all might name, they ain't went live in months, ever since 2 and 10, and they don't. I don't know what they do personally, but to be that, to get access to certain things is kind of what I'm getting at, right? To get access to some of the content that y'all might want. Like people want me to sit up here and probably interview Norvell or whoever the hell. I would have to change who I am. I would have to change the way I talk about this team, and I can't do that. I can't change the way that I cover the team. I'm not going to tell you it's sunny when it's raining. Like I'm not going to tell. I can't tell you that. And I'm not talking 247 or War Chant. Those are kind of real media publications. I'm talking like a guy, just a normal YouTuber like me, whoever you think the biggest YouTube channel is or whatever. Obviously, it's not me. I'll never get the access is the point that I'm kind of getting at. I'll never get that. Like I gainsay, they don't like reality. A lot of fans don't like reality. They want you to come on here and they want you to tell them that FSU's going 12-0. And if you say anything other than 12-0, you're stupid. You're not a real fan. You're X, Y, and Z. There's a lot of fans want you to come on here and tell you FSU's about to win the national championship this year, even if it's not fathom. Like, even if you can't do it. Ben, you don't know my CO. People do like hearing the truth, Pope. If you don't say what they want to hear, then you're not a fan. Like, okay, just like I was just saying, Chris knows exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm sure Miami fans are very similar. You know, the one thing I've always said about Miami is their YouTube community is very interesting. There's a lot of YouTubers that cover their program, and not all of them are liked or loved. Some of them are more real than others, and some of them are fake as hell, just to be clear. But like Chris is saying, if you don't say what they want to hear, you're not a fan. You're just negative. That I get labeled that all the time. I get labeled that all the time. And as you can tell, I don't care. I do not care and will not care. I will continue to speak my truth. And to be clear, there's people in the YouTube spaces that I like. It just is what it is. Not all of them cover the team equally, is what I'll say. And not all of them cover the team properly. Again, I don't necessarily want to toot my own horn. But what I will tell you is I want you to, the beautiful thing about my channel, I don't delete videos. I want you to you can go look at every video I've ever posted. I want you to go look at the things that I've predicted as far as team success, team records, and I want you to stack my resume up with anybody else's out there. Because I guarantee you I'm hitting on all cylinders. I'm not saying I'm always right, but I'm hitting on more of them than they are. I told you in 2023 the Final Four was going to be Michigan, Florida State, Texas. I said USC. It ended up being it ended up being Washington. And then of course FSU got snubbed. I would have just go check my resume, dog. Go check it. The year before that, I told everybody FSU was a 9-10 team, a 9 or 10 win team. Regular season, I said they're a 9 or 10 win team. And that was the same year everybody told y'all if they just get 7 wins, that's a positive season. I said, you're full of shit. 9-10. They went out and won 9. My resume speaks for itself. I like Coach Coop. I like Coach Coop too. There's a couple Miami YouTubers that I like. Coach Hayes is another one. And of course, T2Y. That's my guy. I don't think T2Y even goes live that much. I don't know what T2Y got going on these days. But T2Y, that's for different reasons. But there's a few Miami fans out there too. You said it, not me. Thank you, Ben. Like I said, check the resume. And even when I speak negatively, check the resume. When a lot of platforms kept telling Florida, it's crazy. A lot of platforms kept telling Florida State fans, Jeremiah Smith is a lock. A lot of them kept telling you KJ Bolden was a lock. Go check my resume and that's not, people say, oh, you're just speaking negative. It's not me speaking negative. I'm telling you, it's not what I know. Because again, I'm just a light-skinned dude on YouTube. I don't know anything. But I've been doing this even before I started the channel. I've been covering this team, or just I've been a whether it's recruiting nerd. I've just been a fan for so long. I just know how these things play out. There were people legitimately telling Florida State fans that Jeremiah Smith was going to flip. And I kept telling people, you are lost your mind. He's not leaving Ohio State. And if there's a school that he's leaving Ohio State for, I promise you it's not Florida State. It's going to be Miami. I think Miami had a chance at the end there. That was the only school he was legitimately considering, in my opinion, was Miami. I don't know, but I know kids I've been following the way kids, and believe it or not, people will tell you that NIL has changed things. NIL has not changed. Anybody that's been a fan of college football as long as I have been, and I've been a fan of college football. I'm 37. I can legitimately say, and that's just, I've been a fan of college football since I was 12, 10 years, like since I was a kid. And I've been following recruiting for maybe just as long. You can read recruits, bro. It's not hard, Ben. I promise you. When I hear, it's not hard. It's not hard. Is my camera lagging? Damn. If the camera's lagging, I'm sorry. Audio's lagging. Give me 1 second. Let me try to see what's wrong. But it's not hard. I'm assuming y'all can still hear me, so I'm gonna just keep talking while I try to fix the issue. But it's not hard. I promise you, it's not hard. I do this. And again, there's a reason why I bring the guys on the channel that I bring on, Jurgen and Terrence, because we have been doing this for years, over 10. We just did it amongst ourselves. We had a group chat, and all the stuff that I talk about on the camera, we talked about as a group. It's us and others, not just us, but we had a whole group. The point is, I don't know anything, but it's not, recruiting's very easy to follow. I promise you, it's not that hard. What do you predict Miami will go this year? Just out of curiosity. That's a tough question for me to answer, Caveman, because I don't follow y'all like that. So I don't know. Like, I don't know all your transfer portal additions. I don't know what freshmen may be trending positively for y'all. Like, who are your big? That's hard for me to answer. I would say you lose Cam Ward, you're going to take a dip, right? You don't lose a Cam Ward and go, you know. And then y'all were a 10-win team last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't see you losing Cam Ward and winning 11-12. And this is not just me saying this because you're a Miami fan. I've never been a big Carson Beck guy. I believe he was elevated by the talent around him, not vice versa. I don't believe Carson Beck elevated talent. I think he was elevated. He has a chance to prove me wrong going to Miami because y'all are going to need him to elevate the guys around him. The beautiful thing about Beck is he'll have an O-line. You can say what you want about Mario Cristobal. I don't think he's the greatest game day coach, but that's irrelevant because one thing I know about Mario Cristobal, he's going to recruit damn O-linemen. He's going to not only is he going to recruit them, he's going to develop them. So he'll have an O-line that can block for him, and he'll have a running game. That I know for a fact. I said it earlier in the stream. So, okay, man, I don't know when you tuned in. I think it's Clemson. And I think it's everybody else. I think Miami's in the same stratosphere as a SMU. Miami could finish anywhere from 3rd to 5th in the ACC, or 2nd to 5th. I think it's Clemson and everybody else. T2I is just a troll, but he troll, like, if you don't understand that he's a troll on purpose, then you're kind of doing it to yourself. You need to bring James on. Big Game. I've met Big Game. Big Game has his own YouTube channel. I don't know if I'll be honest with you, I never reached out to him to see, but I know he has his own thing going on. So, Zaquan, he transferred, right? Did Zaquan transfer to I think Oklahoma State or something like that. Well, here's the thing, though. I'm gonna tell you why Napier's not gone. I'm gonna tell you why he's not gone. This time last year, what were we saying? FSU was supposed to be back in the playoff. This time last year, before the season obviously actually happened. FSU was back in Charlotte. FSU was back in the ACC championship. Florida was the team that everybody looked at and they said they got Miami to start the season off. But they got Texas and Georgia, and you just go down the schedule of Florida last year, and everybody was like, that's a 4-win team at best. Right? That's what they said. And Napier actually won 8 games off of a schedule that he was predicted to win 4. That's why Napier's good. And he has Lagway. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what Florida does this year. The SEC kind of goes up and down. If you're not one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the SEC, you could be good one year and bad the next. But excuse me. But I don't know what Florida's. I don't know, but their schedule isn't any easier this year. But Lagway's a year better. I do think Lagway's a good quarterback. But when you look at Florida, they can go 8-4 again or whatever, or they can go 6-6. Like hard to predict when it comes to Florida. Hard to predict. Okay, but you gotta understand that. But see, here's the problem, though, or here's the not the problem. Here's the rebuttal to that. He was a true freshman. True freshmen stare down receivers. And this isn't me trying to say that trying to make a case for Florida, but I am. If you don't know, like I'm all about talent. Like Lagway has talent. Now, whether or not Billy Napier develops him to live up to said talent, that's a whole different conversation. But I can't judge it off of 1 year. Freshmen stare down receivers. That's what freshmen do. You can't take a freshman year and go, that's who he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, how Lagway performs this next year is going to tell the tale probably on the trajectory of DJ Lagway. But as a freshman, yeah, he made freshman mistakes. That happens. It's not a big deal. Well, the state of Florida isn't where it needs to be. That is for sure. I have my own opinions on that. And I don't necessarily know if not FSU, sorry. I don't know if Florida ever gets back to where we want or think it should be. Well, let me finish this. I don't know if that's a comparison you want to make. So this year for Raiola is going to be huge. This is Raiola's. This is going to be his third year? Dylan, or is Dylan? Or was he a freshman as well? Man, I feel like this is Dylan Raiola's third year. Someone tell me if I'm right or wrong. The reason I'm bringing this up is because Matt Rule did a good job, in my opinion, calling games for Raiola. No, Raiola's only got 1 year as well. So if you look at Raiola's stats, he had 2,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Let's go to Lagway. And you got to remember, Raiola started from the jump. Lagway didn't start from the jump, but let's go to Lagway real quick. Lagway had 1,900 yards, 12 and 9. Bro, they're almost identical, quite frankly, in terms of what they've been asked to do. I think both guys, as true freshmen, show a lot of promise, man. Like Raiola made bad passes as Lagway did as well. Like I think you're saying that about Raiola because he played the entire season. Where Lagway, you got to remember, Lagway didn't start the season off as the starter. Mertz did. I think that's where you look at it from, Ben. I like both players, to be quite honest with you. Right, they're the same class, so you're right. But I can't say one guy's better than the other right now. I really can't. Only thing you can judge off on is the talent that you see with your eyes, and that's different for everybody. If I looked at strictly arm talent between Raiola and Lagway, I'm taking Lagway's arm talent over Raiola's. Dennis, are you paying attention? Look behind me, my man. Peter Warwick is always, if there's one guy that's going to be on the wall at all times, it's going to be him. It's more because Lagway's big plays are ones that anyone with arm talent could make. Raiola showed a lot more QB maturity. I'm a Nebraska and FSU, so I think, again, this isn't me necessarily picking one guy over the other. I think a lot of Raiola has to do with the fact that Matt Rule calls a game that protects Raiola. So if there's one thing that you have to worry about if it comes to Lagway, is, again, I said it, Billy Napier's development. I don't know if Billy Napier is going to call a game that protects Lagway. I know for a fact, watching Raiola and watching Matt Rule, he will not put Raiola in a position to hurt himself or the team. He calls a game very conservative, might not be the right word, but Rule's going to call a game where Raiola doesn't have to make a bunch of decisions. Right? I don't know if it's the same for Lagway. That's the one benefit I would give Raiola, is that I think his coach is more attuned to his strengths and weaknesses. That's what I'll say. Dennis, he absolutely wants attention, and it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and that's just, and that again, that's just me. That's just me. I think for sure Raiola has a better head coach than Lagway. I 100% believe that. I don't necessarily believe that Raiola is a better talent than Lagway, but that's irrelevant depending on the development of it all. But we just did another 3-hour Noles After Dark, and I think it's about that time because it's past midnight here Central Time, and I know it's late Eastern Standard Time. So before we get out of here, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. College football season 26, man, it's coming up. Share the video. Share the video, share the channel. But I believe that there are FSU fans out there that don't know I exist. Get them on the channel, man. Let your friends, fam, I don't know, whoever you got out there, get them on. Let them know we out here. And get them to subscribe, get them to tune in, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Do I think our defense will be top 20? Ugh, Ronald, you're asking way too much. That's not a knock on anybody. I think our defense will be better than our offense. The problem is I think our defense will be on the field a lot more than our offense. I hope I'm wrong. It's going to be hard to be a top 20 defense when you're gassed out. That's my answer to that. As always, man, it's your boy POLK over here on 863 Seminole TV. Stay classy. Again, like, subscribe, share. Put them on. Put them on. If you got friends you need to put on and you haven't done it, what are you doing, Ben? Put them on. And we are out here. Go Noles. Stay classy. And I tell you what, man. The season's coming up. College football 26 is coming up. I'll be giving my predictions here eventually. We'll see how they pan out. I'm out here, guys.